All right, folks. Wilbur Goodspeed here. What we're doing today is we're going to try to level out this backyard and try to make it a little bit more smoother. Everything's on a slant, and that's fine, but it's also doing this. We want everything come across here and then down at a slant. So the grade drops pretty dramatically. So if you look right over here, right now we're standing in a low spot. I'm gonna take my land plane, a bucket, whatever it takes, and I'm gonna bring this mound down, and we're pushing it all down into this bottom here and filling that in. Now I've already done a lot of it. It was a lot worse, but we're gonna be taking this mound down, pushing it in here. If you look over here, we're still a little high in some areas here. We're gonna be bringing this in, and that we're bringing these two in, and we're also, there's a septic system here, so we got to get it fixed up, but we'll be putting some more dirt on top of it. And when we're done taking down over here and taking down over here and adding a little here and then pushing the excess down there, the whole backyard ought to be pretty level as far as north to south. East to west, we're going to slope from the east to the west. We're sloping down a pretty good bit. I know the camera doesn't show grades very well, but it does slope down quite a bit, and that's totally fine. It goes into a bottom down here. So anyway, I'm fixing to jump on this tractor, and I'm going to use the land plane and start breaking this. I'm going to set the land plane pretty aggressive, the Scarfires, and start breaking this loose and then back dragging it down, and we're just going to try to move some earth. Stick with us. Let me get set up and we'll get to rocking on this. I'm gonna set these Scarfires a little deeper, and when I drop these down, I'm gonna drop them down to the second hole. They're gonna be more aggressive, and they're gonna break that dirt up a little better than what it's doing. You can achieve partial dig by tilting the land plane forward, raising the rear up about 1.5 inches to 2 inches, and that'll make them dig down more. Or you can drop them down and keep your land plane pretty flat. So we're going to try this dropping them down. I think just one hole will be fine. One more. All right, back to work. I think you'll see in the video, these will grab more, and you'll see more dirt turning up in front of them. You'll notice what I'm doing. I'm going one way, and then when I come back, after 2 or 3 times of that, I'm kind of crisscrossing the trenches that these are digging, and that's just breaking everything up real loose, and then my front blade or scoop or bucket will be able to help smooth it out once I'm done. Or the land plane, just pull these Scarfires all the way up the land plane. It kind of leaves chunks in between the tracks, and it makes it really easy to smooth down. Either way, we'll see which way is more effective, but that's what I'm doing, kind of a crisscross action. In a minute, you'll see me go across them this way, just breaking that hill down. Goes pretty quick. Just so you know, as I'm dragging back, I'm putting the bucket in float mode. It's pretty hard on the bucket and all the mechanics of it. If you like lock it in and start pulling back, it puts a lot of pressure on it. But in float mode, it's fine. You don't get as much in one swoop, but it's a lot better for your machine. Now, I'm going to move the scarifiers back up and just use the land plane to smooth this out and bring it on down some more. And then I'll rinse and repeat. I'll drop the scarifiers again and scar some more, break it up some more, raise them up, plane it off. So it's just kind of a process. You probably could just keep on digging with these, but I kind of like to see where I'm at, see what I got going on, and stand back and look at it. So I just do a rinse and repeat. It's not a big deal to move these. These blades will be the primary thing digging. These still dig a little, but not near as much when you raise them back up. Okay, so I've got the scarifiers back up. We're going to use the land plane. I'm going to follow basically the same pattern and just pull in more dirt down. But with the scarifiers up, it'll leave a much smoother surface. I'll stand back, I'll take a look at it and decide if I want to drop it down even more, which I will. I know it needs to come down more, but for video's sake, I'm just kind of showing you the process of what you can do to get it really smooth and level. So here we go with the scarifiers up and using the land plane. Now, one thing I've learned with the land plane, the slower you go when pulling it in your gear ratio, kind of the better it does as far as digging down and smoothing out. If you get a little speed to it, it'll still do it, but you'll probably have to make more passes. But if it hits anything, it kind of jumps a little bit if you got some speed to you. But I try to do it just like in first gear, and it seems to do okay. If you really crank it down and put it in low first, I mean, it'll just sit there and just smooth it out like ice or glass. But the ideal is to get it smooth. I think you can see from the footage, but with the scarifiers up, it smooths it out pretty good. Now you have to go over it 2 or 3 times to get down past where the scarifiers actually scarred the earth. And some people call them scarifiers. I'm not trying to scare the earth, I'm trying to scar it. Some people call them tines, diggers. I call them scarifiers. I'm scarring up the dirt to make it easier for the land plane blades to pick up the dirt and move it. Also with this land plane, if you have a low spot, it's just like with a box blade. You can start bringing your 3-point up and it'll drop more dirt in that low area if you raise up. If you leave it down, it's going to follow pretty much what you got going on. But if you got a low spot, just like a box blade, just raise it up a little bit and it'll drop more dirt in that area. Anyway, I'm gonna get back at it. Also, a land plane works pretty good for pushing your piles back. When you get as far as you can go forward, you can turn around and drop it and you can push back, which I'll show you right here. It's not as effective as going front ways as far as moving dirt, but it will break piles down and push them back. So watch this. So you see, the land plane to me is an awesome tool. It'll move a lot of dirt depending on how you set it up. It'll also smooth out. When you're pushing back, it does real good at filling holes and things. I think a land plane is far superior to a box blade. You can move a lot with this. Obviously, you could move a little more dirt with each pass with a box blade, but I don't know. There's just something about a land plane that to me, I don't even own a box blade. Don't want one, don't need one as long as I have this land plane. So in my opinion, a land plane, number one, for gravel driveways. Number two, it's amazing for leveling yards, humps in yards, things of that nature. And number three, it's fun. It's just a lot of fun. I don't care who you are. If you don't like being on a tractor and you don't like doing this kind of stuff, we can't be friends. I'm sorry. We just can't be friends. This is fun. It's productive. I've owned a lot of ATVs in my life, and I've had more fun on this tractor than any ATV I've ever had. This is just, there's something about moving earth with very little effort. It's just, I spent most of my life with a shovel in my hand or a pick or something like this to move and change the course of a landscape. But this, oh wow, it's just so fun. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something about the value of a land plane. If you like what you've seen, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you'll hit that little bell, it'll notify you when our next video comes out. We're trying to put out 1 to 2 a week as best we can. So anyway, thanks for joining in, and y'all have a great day. Thank you. Billy Mays here.